How do I look? Strong?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Justin from Misguided. I'm gonna talk to you about my Zuma today. But before that, if you're just joining us, this is Misguided Motorsports. We do everything from tire changes and basic maintenance to your full stump builds. Now let me tell you about my scooter. I mean, it's clearly not just your typical scooter. I feel like most people pick up on that pretty quick. So this is my 2000 Zuma. It was a project for the majority of the season and I only got to ride it a couple times, but I love it now that it's all set up, but it's too cold to ride. Starting with my shoe, it's had a lot of hard miles. It's super tattered and beat up, but I think that's one of my favorite parts about my scooter. And I actually got it from Alexi, who's been in other videos.
Come in the butt.
Moving past the shoe, it's got a vented case. It's gonna keep your belts cooler and like your clutch isn't gonna get as hot and stuff. I don't know if it's that drastic of a change, but it looks cool. It's got a yellow contra spring in it, yellow clutch springs, 5-gram roller weights. I think that's it for CVT stuff. Motor-wise, it's got a Malossi 70 kit in it right now. It's had a couple different top ends on it this season. We were really having a lot of trouble getting it to run right due to like some massive air leaks and stuff. So we wound up going with the Malossi at the end of the day. Obviously it's got a big carb on it because that's how we do it. It's got a 19mm Delordo. I think I got a 98 in there right now, which is a little lean, but they make more power when they're lean. Athena pipe. It's got the cool carbon fiber headlight. It's got the JDM tail light with the fangs on the ends, which I like. Some of them don't drop down on the turn signals.
Those are stock tires, right?
Yeah, these are bone stock tires,
Those
actually.
are beefy.
Yeah, they're pretty meaty. That's one of the things I like about the Zuma too, is these tires are tubeless and you get way more ground clearance than you would not on an Elite. Like I can straight up hop a curb on this thing and it's no big deal at all. Whereas on an Elite, you would have to literally like get off and pick it up over a curb. I also have an aftermarket no-name shock that I put on there that really stiffens up the rear end on it for what I like to do on it. You don't need it, but creature comforts, and I've had so many scooters, I decided, you know, this will be the one that we do everything that hasn't been done. So they made these PreBugs from 1989 to 2001, and then after this would be the Bug Eye, which was made from 2002 to 2011. That's another super common scooter that people stunt, 50 cc's. You can set them up basically with all the same parts. It's the same scooter, I just prefer these. They're a little lighter, and I think they look a lot better. That's what they call these, by the way, a PreBug Zuma, if I didn't say that already. What you're gonna see on the older model Zumas is a drum front brake and inverted forks. It's super light and they look cool, but at the last year they changed them to KYB front shocks and a disc front brake, as well as the wheels are different too. It's a huge difference. I've had a couple drum brake Zumas and the inverted forks, and this rides much, much better. So if you're in the market for a Zuma, I would push you to try to find a late model one. I got into riding scooters like 3 years ago because I used to see Tony Santos, AKA Toaster, out of Texas, shredding scooters all over, and I was like, I have to get in on this. My first scooter was a 2001 Elite S. It was a 50 and I left it bone stock. It was immaculate. I was working at a detail company for the time, so all I did was like have some of the guys polish it. And
that was your first scooter, that black one?
Yeah, that black one. I rode that for about a half a season before I got away from the Elites and got into the Zumas. And I got my first periwinkle Zuma, and I was already hooked by then. I don't know what it is about scooters, but I'm just obsessed with them. I think that it's so stupid that it's funny. It's not something that you can understand unless you go spend a day riding around in Chicago with this scooter squad, and then you may understand why we do it, you know? But until then, just looking in, you look like an idiot riding around on a scooter. People don't get it. But that's part of the fun too, is that you look basically innocent riding around on it. So in terms of police and I mean, even pedestrians and stuff, it's hard to encounter someone that doesn't like scooters. I think this year is like a big year for the scooter people, that we really came mainstream. Like 3 years ago, I was to my knowledge, the only person in Chicago doing stunts on a scooter. And now 3 years later, I got the City Scootin' group chat, and we have over 20 members in there, and we all pop out and ride wheelies on scooters. And you're seeing it more in other states too. I know a lot of the guys in New York are probably gonna talk shit about this video, saying, oh, we were doing that 10 years ago. But I think that this year it's more mainstream than it's ever been, and that's just across the whole country. Let's talk price points. For a Zuma bone stock, something like this, you're looking at right around $1,500 to $2,000. Your next cheapest bike is probably gonna be a Grom or a Z, and you're gonna be $3 to $4,000 for that. In terms of setting them up, you're gonna have to put even more money into them. Let's say you go buy a $3,500 Grom, you're still gonna have to put $1,500 to $2,000 in cages, handbrake stuff, bars, all that stuff adds up. Whereas with a scooter, these things will wheelie bone stock. Everything else is optional. Even cheaper than the Zuma, you could get an Elite, possibly $800 to $1,000 and wheelie that bone stock.
Is it bone stock? It's bone stock.
So if you're looking to get into stunt riding and you're on a budget, a scooter may be your best option. Another thing to think about is gas mileage. It's gonna be significantly less than a sport bike, obviously. This one is not amazing on gas because of all the things I've done to it. I'll typically go through 2 to 3 tanks of gas a day if I'm out all day, but it's only 3/4 of a gallon. So a lot of these scooters are oil injected, which means you don't have to premix. All you gotta do is pop open the cap on your oil reservoir, fill it up, and it injects it on its own into the carburetor. What a lot of guys do is delete the oil injection because if it fails while you're out riding, you can lean out your motor and blow it up. So it's just good to get rid of it. I premix in this. While we're on the topic of oil injection, let's talk oil. I like to run Klotz R50. I got it here in stock. It's not just good for scooters. It's good for your snowmobiles, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, whatever you got that is two-stroke, even your lawnmower. I always have it in stock, big quarts or little pints. One of my favorite things about this oil is the way that it makes your exhaust smell. I know what they say, you're not supposed to be inhaling that stuff, but it smells so good when you pre-mix with Klotz. One of the things we offer here is the Chicago Scooter Squad Starter Pack, starting at $479. It's not a big bore. You get your jets, your pipe, minor CVT work, clutch springs, and a contra. What this is gonna do is gonna boost your top speed to right around 45, 50. I can build your kit based on what your preferences are and what you want out of your scooter. Give me a call for anything you need for any of your scooters at 773-887-4369. Click the link down below, like, comment, subscribe, and come see me at the shop. How about that? Is that good? I just be thinking too much.
Yeah, and you can tell when you're
I just be thinking too much.